Hi, this is Tracy from We Craft at Home. I thought maybe you would like to learn how to do some flowers. So we're just going to pick a couple of shapes and see what we can make out of them. So I like that shape. That looks a pretty good shape. Let's try that one. Okay, because we need to manipulate some of these. I'm just going to make it a bit smaller. We'll start with this one. Now it depends if you want 5 or 6 petals. If we've done this as a 6 petal, I will just show you. If you layer duplicate and then flip okay, grab them both and make sure they are central line down the middle so they're in the same place. And then we're going to group them, and then what I want you to do is duplicate and turn that. See, it says angle 45 degrees, and then actually let's duplicate this one, layer duplicate, and we'll do that one at 90 degrees I think. Also, it's going to be 8 petals, I apologise. So layer duplicate, and now we'll do that again, 90, 135. There we go. And then all we're going to do is pick them all to do centre and centre, and then they're the exact right amount of space away. So that's actually an 8 leaf, I do apologise for that. So the next thing to do would be to get a circle and put it over the middle. Centre that as well. And weld. And there is one of your little petals. What you could do, I don't know if any of you have used nodes. If you click, see there's a box around it. If you click again, all the nodes come up. If you click hide control points, we don't need them. You can then go in and use the nodes. So what we're going to do, I'm just going to bring it in a bit closer so that we can see it a bit better. You're going to take one of them and just bring it down a little bit. And if you do that with each one, just a little bit, it doesn't have to be the same because a flower would not be the same. That's what we've all got to remember. If you want it natural looking, there, and then click off it and the nodes will go. That's how you manipulate. Display, zoom to mat size. So that's like one little flower, because I prefer flowers where you layer them up rather than roll them. I think you can get a bit more realistic if you lay them up, because then what you can do is duplicate and then make that a little bit smaller, and if you turn it slightly, wrong one, turn it slightly and then put it in the center. Needs to be turned a little bit more. There we go. So that's 2 flowers. I'll show you how it looks. I'll tell you what I'll do, I'll put a colour in. So let's go lilac, and then we'll click on this one and we do that one just the next lilac down. There. That gives you a better idea. So that's one flower we could do if you like them. And you can do as many as you like. You can do them as big and small as you like. I would do several layers and I would get a bit smaller. So I would probably do 2 or 3 of each layer. Layer, duplicate, and then go smaller again. Just to, yeah. And I would probably do a few of the small size, maybe 5. Only on paper as well. So let's put them to the side. Let's start with this now. Now I would probably go in a little bit on this, because let's try a kind of daisy type flower. We'll go in a bit more. Is it too sharp? It should be okay. So again, if you layer, duplicate. Now you don't want too much space in between these two, because like a daisy and that type of flower, they haven't got a lot of space. So again, you make sure that they're centered down the middle. So that's this one. They're centered in a line there. And then you group it. And then duplicate and turn it. Let's do 90 to start with. And then I'll show you a little. If we center them both ways, layer, group, layer, duplicate, and then we do 45. Center them. You see where we're going? Layer, group, layer, duplicate. And then half of 45 is 22.5. So we do that again, but we have to center them. And there we go. So now, if we weld, we can get rid of this by putting a circle over. If you do remove or divide, it will just take the middle out of the thing. So if we do that and weld again, there we go. And again, you can bring the points down if you wanted, like I showed you before. So like this, and you can just bring them all down and make sunflower, daisy, whatever one you prefer. And then you just go round doing all these. If you want longer petals, if it's easier, what you could do is put a circle in the middle to how small you want it, then click on that, click again, and you can make sure all the points, whoops, go to the circle. See, if you hold shift, it goes straight down. So hold shift and it will go down in a straight line. Okay, you can click off, move that. I mean, you can use it to put in the middle or just leave it like that. And what I would do again, I would do 2 or 3 layers of it. So that's another flower. I forgot. Now this one I would squash down a bit, and I think that might look nice. I think this one we will play a little bit more with. Do we need it? No, I really want it kind of squashed up like that. Okay, so layer, duplicate and flip. Align centrally and group. If you don't group it, then you can't move the next two together, and you can't centralize them. So layer, duplicate, 90 degrees. Now what I was thinking, layer, ungroup, wait a second. If you double click, it just clicks on and off. It hasn't this time, of course. That's what it would normally do. So hold it, shift, and I want to come up a little bit. That is the better shape. Okay, I think that might work better. So I'm going to get rid of the rest. Sorry about that, people. Duplicate, flip. If you prefer the original shape, you can stick to that. But I prefer this, so we will use this one. So we've grouped it, layer, duplicate. ,90 degrees. Central, central, both central, so that they're smack in the middle. I'm just going to use this circle. Let's make sure everything's in the middle now, because that circle doesn't look like it was. And weld. There we go. A very simple flower, but layering up like that does look really nice. If I show you quickly, let's do this one in light pink, and then we will layer, duplicate and turn 45. There we go. And then if we layer, oh, let's undo that, layer, duplicate, make it a little bit smaller, do that one at 0, and we'll change the colour to the next one. And then layer, duplicate. You don't have to do the colour. I'm doing the colour just to show you the difference. Back at 45, and then we just centralise it all. So you can kind of see that the petals getting smaller and smaller. I would probably do 4 different sizes. Layer, duplicate, okay. You need 2 of each layer, don't you? Layer, duplicate. That one will go back to 0. That's where it should be. Layer, duplicate. Do that one even smaller. Layer, duplicate. That gives you a rough idea, and then when it's all folded into one it looks really nice. So there's 3 flowers. If you want to cut some out, you need about 4 or 5 layers of that one. Then we'll go over to the craft table and we'll do some work over there. Hi everyone, so I'm over here at the craft table. I've cut loads of flowers out. I've cut some leaves out as well, and I've already coloured them. I've already coloured some flowers. I haven't shaped them yet though. I've just used distress inks. I can do a couple to show you, and then we'll get on. What I want to show you first, as a background, I'm going to do an 8x8 card. And as a background, I found these napkins in Aldi. And I think it'll make a really good background for flower cards. So I grabbed them. And it's just, I'm going to use napkin glue. It's Pin Flare napkin glue. I told you I stick to my companies with glues. Yes, I do have cheap paint brushes, because they work just as well. As long as they're soft bristle, you don't have to pay a fortune for them. Okay. Yeah, so when I'm out and about and I see a nice napkin that I like, I just grab them, and they're there ready when I want to use them. Only cheap ones. They're not the like proper crafting ones, but they do the job just as well. I'm just going to put a bit on top as well. Just to make sure it's all it right there, and then you've got a nice background on your card. Oh, put that in down. Okay, so while that's drying off, I don't think I'll cut it until I know it's dry. I'll start shaping some flowers. So got 3 different types, like we done on the like we done on the scan and cut. So this one is fairly simple. I've done 2 different sizes of this one. So this one I would just get the petals moving a bit first. If you don't have a mat to do it on, you just need something that's a bit kind of spongy but not too spongy, if that makes sense. Okay, so we've got the fibres moving. Now you just want to kind of pinch it back, see, like, there you go. So you're pinching it back. You don't have to, I mean, might take you a while. I've used paper, but I've used fairly decent paper. I think just a thicker paper than copier. Not too thick. maybe 100 GSM. So for this flower I've done 3 layers. So that's it all pinched back. What I'll do the other 2 so they're not pinched back. You probably need a few different sizes if you're getting a ball tool, but you can use whatever you like really. As long as it's manipulating the fibres of the paper. And then let's just stick it together. You can use hot glue. A lot of people prefer just using hot glue and getting it over and done with. But I still go to my Pin Flare bookbinding glue. I guess it's a preference, isn't it? I have to say, I think I prefer it not done backwards. Okay, so if you hold it like that for a little while, then you can be sure it's going to stick. Yeah, not pulling the petals backwards, sorry, is what I meant, done backwards. So, there's the first flower. Kind of cute. I coloured it a little bit yellow on the outside. On the bigger one, I left it white and coloured it on the inside, just to see what went different. But I'll do that one in a minute, seeing as you see me do that flower. Let's do this one next. Now this one, I need the bigger one. So I've done 3 of each size on this one. That's the right way. And I lightly coloured the back in case we see them. Cool. That was hard work. Last one. I'm going to try my different mat. I prefer this one, I can work easier with it. And then we're going to go down in sizes. Where's my middle ones gone? got some missing. The middle flowers, because there's 3 different sizes, so these are the smaller ones, and these ones I would do up ways, so they're in the middle coming up. So the middle ones are like that, as you can see, but I don't know where they've gone. So I'll come back to that after. So what we would do is do the middle ones going out, and then these ones will come up in the middle, and it looks amazing. So this one, smaller, 1, 2. Oh yeah, do 2 of each one. Silly me, done it back to front. So that's like that. So that'll go like that. And then we'll go next size, and there's 4 sizes in this. Yeah, 4 sizes. So they go down gradually, and the little ones again you do upways. So I've shown you how to do the flowers bit by bit. The leaves are manipulating like it's got a middle, so you want to like, and then move it out. I'd normally use my pokey tool for this. As usual, it's done a disappearing act. So just manipulate them so that there's a middle, and then they come out like a leaf would, really. So it's like that, see? And the other ones, again, you want a middle. There we go. Just like that. So we'll do them all like that. I'll manipulate them all, and I'll be back in a minute, and I'll show you how we put it all together. Okay, this is nice and dry. I've done all the flowers. I don't want too many because they're quite big. And I've cut out a nice bit of card to go on top that the flowers can be round. But what I want to do quickly is just go around it. No, I won't use that green actually. I'll use that green. Yeah. Just go around the card with a ink pad. Just so that it's got a nice finish on it. There we go. And I want to stick that straight down. Wow. Excuse my phone. Okay, and then stick that straight down. Make sure I've got the card the right way. Don't want that mistake again, do we? So my idea was just to kind of arrange them in one corner. 5 flowers. What do you think? 5 or 4? No, 5. That's it, like that. And then arrange the leaves, but I've also got a happy birthday swirly one that I thought might look nice, and that'll be like the finished card. So I'm just going to stick them on with the glue. Remember, if someone wants to stand it up, make sure it doesn't go over the bottom edge. Shape the leaves. I'm just going to give them a quick little I'm going to split this, I think. Put that one right in the middle there. Yeah, I think that might be enough. I have got some left if I want to. And what I've tried to do is a layer of the napkin over. I've done a mat for the words and I've layered the napkin over the top of it. Now I'm just trying to peel it off. I wasn't sure if it would work, but I was hoping. I mean, I'm not too worried because I can just peel it back. Just stick it down like that. Okay, you would obviously take your time with this. Do it on pads. That goes there. I think I'm going to have to colour it because it's not really showing, like standing out. So I will colour it, but I mean that is so far. And then what I think I'll do is I'll obviously use the gems to put inside the flowers, or pearl ones. I don't know if any of you got pearl ones. I love them. I use them all the time inside the flowers. I think these are a bit big though. Let's see what I've got. I don't like it all to be the same as well because they're different flowers. So I think maybe the little ones can have them. And then I've got these. I think I'll put one in there and one in that one. And then this one's going to look great in there, isn't it? Yeah. These are Brad's. I got them from, I think, Home Bargains. Either Home Bargains or Poundland. Didn't know they were Brad's. I could have sorted that out beforehand. Okay, so I might take that apart and stick it back on afterwards. Let's see. Yeah, it should be alright. So I'll do that. But then I just need to colour the happy birthday and there you go. Nice card with a flower on. What I'm going to do though, for a nice card like this, you obviously need a box. So next week I'm going to show you how to do a box